There's nothing quite like a movie that completely messes with your mind. You're fully invested, following every detail, trying to piece things together, only to have the rug pulled from out underneath you at the very last second. The best twists make you rethink everything you just watched, forcing you to go back to catch the clues that you missed out on. And that's exactly what today's list is about: the top 10 most mind blowing movie endings that no one saw coming. Now, obviously, I can only speak for movies that I have seen myself, but these films don't just shock us, they left us speechless, questioning reality and sometimes rewatching immediately just to process what we just witnessed. But fair warning, if you haven't seen these films, major spoiler alerts ahead, because we're breaking down the stories and the endings that made these twists legendary. Let's get into it.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street. It's my turn. You come with me. I'm at the Plaza Hotel. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
Coming in at number 10 is going to be High Tension. This horror film follows two best friends, Marie and Alex. As they visit Alex's family for a quiet weekend, things take a horrific turn when a deranged psycho serial killer breaks in, slaughters Alex's whole family, and kidnaps her. Marie, determined to save her friend, follows in pursuit, trying to stop the sadistic killer. The twist is Marie is the killer. That's right. Everything we saw was from Maria's distorted perception. She wasn't the hero that we all thought she was. She was the monster all along. The killer was just a projection in her twisted mind, acting out her violent obsession with Alex. That is a brutal, shocking revelation, and re-questioning every event that we just seen happen on screen. Coming in at number 9, which is heartbreaking, The Mist. A mysterious mist rolls into town, trapping a group of people in a supermarket. But this wasn't just fog. It hides deadly creatures that kill everything in their path. As tensions rise outside the store, the group begins turning on one another, all while trying to survive the nightmare that is lurking outside. Even after escaping with his son and three others, protagonist David makes an unthinkable decision. With no gas and no hope in sight, he chooses to mercy kill everyone in the car, including his own son, just to spare them from the worst fate. Seconds later, though, the mist clears and help arrives. The army was just minutes away from saving them. David's gut wrenching scream at the end as he realizes what he has done makes it one of the heartbreaking twists in a horror film. Coming in at number 8, Memento. Leonard suffers from short term memory loss. Unable to form new memories after a tragic event, he's on a mission to find and kill the man who murdered his wife, using Polaroids and tattoos to track his own investigation. While at the end, the real plot twist is Leonard already got his revenge. The real kicker is he's been manipulating himself. His so called friend Teddy reveals that Leonard already found and killed his wife's attacker long ago. But he keeps resetting his search because he can't handle the truth. Instead, he twists facts to give himself a purpose, continuing an endless cycle of vengeance. The moment Leonard knowingly lies to himself, setting up another false lead, is both genius and deeply tragic. Man, do I love that ending of that movie. Coming in at number 7 is going to be The Others. Grace, a mother protecting her two light sensitive children in a mansion where supernatural events begin occurring, she's convinced ghosts are haunting them and she specifically tries to defend her family from those spirits. But unfortunately, the real twist is they are the ghosts. The so called intruders in the house, they're actually the living new family that is moved in, while Grace and her children unknowingly exist as spirits. Worse than that, we soon learn that Grace killed her kids and then committing suicide, explaining why they were trapped in the house. This haunting, unforgettable ending completely flips the ghost story tropes of all horror, and now it's an ending that we never seen coming when we originally watched it. Coming in at number 6, Gone Girl. Nick's wife, not me or mine, Amy, disappears and all the evidence points to him. As the media turns against him, Nick struggles to prove his innocence while the truth behind Amy's disappearance slowly unravels. The crazy, sadistic, twisted ending in all of this is that Amy staged the entire thing. She wasn't kidnapped, she wasn't murdered. She meticulously framed her husband to ruin him. But here's the real kicker, which I never saw coming. After Nick exposes her, she forces him to stay in their toxic marriage by faking her own pregnancy. Instead of resolving anything, in reality, Amy wins by completely trapping Nick in her own sick, twisted web. Coming in at number 5 is going to be The Game, 1997. Man, I really like this movie. Nick, a wealthy banker, gets an unexpected birthday gift, an interactive game that will change his life. But as he plays, reality begins to blur. People betray him, his life is dismantled, and he's thrown into a downward spiral of paranoia, danger, and fear. But the greatest ending and twist of all, it was all part of the game. Hence the reason the name of the movie. Just when Nick thinks he accidentally killed his own brother in the chaos, he finds himself at his own birthday party. An even more insane element is that everything was orchestrated just to give him a perspective and a newfound appreciation for his own life. An ending so wild, it makes you question in the entire movie what was real or what was really fake. And to me, endings like that are just fantastic. Coming in at number 4, Shutter Island. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Teddy, a U.S. Marshal investigating a missing patient in an insane asylum. But as he digs deeper, the case becomes more disturbing, leading him to question his own reality. But the real plot twist that personally I never seen coming, Teddy is the patient. The entire investigation was just fabricated into a role play put on by the entire staff to help him admit the real truth that he was hiding. He murdered his wife after his wife drowned their children. But the real gut punch, he chooses to stay in that deception, struggling whether to live as the patient or live as a detective and keep doing the same story over and over in his head. Number 3, The Sixth Sense. Child therapist Dr. Malcolm tries to help the young boy Cole, who claims he can see dead people. Throughout the film, Malcolm helps Cole confront his fears, unraveling mysteries about spirits that haunt him and helping him through a tough time in his life. But the real plot twist came at the end of the movie where we all discover Malcolm the whole time was dead. Every interaction he had was just a trick. He was the ghost all along, unaware of his own death, a legendary twist that made everyone immediately rewatch the movie to catch the clues they missed. And this was true because in the theaters, I bought another ticket for the next showing to go back in. Now, we're down to the last two and an honorable mention. I think personally, these three movies nobody saw coming, and these films really just had the biggest twist at the end. Again, I can only speak for films that I myself have seen. And coming in at number 2 is going to be Saw. Two men are chained up in a filthy bathroom. with a dead body laying in between them. Their only way out is to follow disturbing instructions left by the sick, sadistic killer, Jigsaw, making the two guys do things that only a human would do to survive, getting shocked every time they tried something funny. But unfortunately, what they didn't know at the end is that that dead body was Jigsaw the whole time. He rises up just at the last second, revealing he's been orchestrating everything right in front of them. A legendary horror twist that launched an entire franchise. Now, don't get me wrong, a few of these movies, they do feel good, but as far as like the franchise, it just turned into a messy story, and we only really care about how different the killings are, and that's really about it. To me, this franchise kind of died after three. I didn't really need any more of them, but I still do own all of them on Blu-ray, so I guess I can't really talk. As an honorable mention, that's going to be Seven. What's in the Box? One of the most iconic endings ever, where Detective Mills realizes his wife's severed head is in the box, completing the killer's master plan. This is still one of my favorite films to watch over and over. And Kevin Spacey just steals the scene in the entire movie once he walks out of that taxi and walks into that police station. I don't care how many times Kevin Spacey is canceled by cancel culture. His movies always were legendary and iconic, and I will never stop watching them. My number one pick is going to be The Usual Suspects. A small time criminal recounts the story of a dangerous mastermind, Kaiser Sosa, pulling the strings behind the deadliest heist, playing with the detective's head that's interrogating him the entire time, crafting the art of storytelling while simultaneously playing the crippled, scared little man who didn't know anything of what was really going on. But the greatest twist to me in cinematic movie history is at the end where we all learn who Kaiser Sosa really is. Everything he said in that room was fabricated. A masterclass in deception, using objects around the detective's room to manipulate and put together the entire fabricated story. The final reveal as he walks away, disregarding his fake limp, remains one of the greatest cinema twists in today's history. Kevin Spacey's performance is absolutely flawless. And to me, the way that he just walks away, lights up that cigarette, is just crazy intense. And man, I did not for 1,000 miles see that ending coming. These films prove that nothing is as it seems. Which twists on this list really got you? Now be truthful. Don't say you knew all along because you're a great detective and blah, blah, blah. If you were really stumped like I was at the end of these movies, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. And Jerry, I'm going to get to Prisoners. I have not watched it yet, but I will get to it because from what you were describing, it probably would have made this list. But anyways, much love. Let me know what your favorite movie twist was. If you have any, leave them in the comments. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me. You're not going anywhere.